Hi, is this James? Hey, James, this is Tony from marketing. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you? I just called to let you know that I really hate working here. This stupid job. Oh, and by the way, I quit. Whew. That was fun. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tony R. Sanders, and you are watching The Happy Meter. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Great Resignation, but more specifically, how you should resign from your job. If you don't know what the Great Resignation is, I'll tell you this in a brief overview. 40% of the workforce in the United States of America are primed to leave their job. Most people are leaving because they had a great awakening. That's what I like to call it. They had a great awakening during the pandemic. They saw how fragile life was. They saw how their company is going to handle a global crisis. And a lot of them are thinking and starting to become aware that they could actually go do better. And so I want you to go get that better job. I want you to go find greener pastures. I want you to do something that you love. In fact, that's what this channel is all about. But I want you to do it the right way. I want to make sure that just because you leave a place doesn't mean you have to ruin relationships. Doesn't mean you have to leave in a way that puts a bad mark on your name, on your resume, or on your work history. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 things that you can do to ensure that you leave the job without damaging the relationships. Here we go. Okay, number 1, you have to remember it's business, not personal. Now, I know the reasons that you're going to be leaving, they are probably personal. You probably had some hardships, some things going on. As a matter of fact, you should watch this video for 10 things you should consider before leaving a job. So I know that it's personal, but the transaction of you leaving an organization is actually very, very business oriented. So what do I mean by that? I mean, when they ask you why you're leaving, when you go to put in your 2 weeks notice, when they ask you to do an interview at the end, an exit interview, when they ask you, what could we have done better? Stick to the facts. Stick to the things that you can point to specific examples of how this could have gone better, or maybe they could have done this different. Actually, this is going to be a great source of solutions for them to implement moving forward in the future. And it doesn't matter if you think they're going to actually implement those solutions. It doesn't matter. The point is you want to make it as professional as possible. Keep it business, never personal. Let's go to number 2. Number 2. You want to make it about your goals and not about their failures. Here's what I mean by that. If I'm leaving an organization, I'm going to make it about what I want to do and how I need to go find a place that I can do that at, as opposed to what they're not doing. An example would be in 3 to 5 years, I see myself as being a director over this department. Now, I believe that that's more possible or more likely for me to get on that path or continue on that development outside of this organization. That means that it's more about your goals and not what you guys are doing wrong. It's not you guys suck, or everybody that I loved here left, or you guys are never going to let me move up, or you guys, it sounds like you're just blaming them and you're complaining, and they're never going to hear that. And that's going to be the lasting mark they have about you in their mind is, oh, that girl she just complained all the time. That guy, he just complained all the time. So if you're thinking of leaving your job, make sure that you make it about your goals and not about their failures. Are you getting value out of this video so far? If you are, hit that like button, drop a comment. If you just had something that exploded your mind, I want to see that explosion emoji in the comments. Let me know. Number 3, here we go. Number 3, I want you to prepare a transition plan. Now, this won't work for every line of work. Maybe there is a situation where only you could do what you do. Or maybe there's 100,000 people doing what you do, and it's not going to matter if you leave. But outside of those extreme situations, prepare a transition plan. Let them know that the projects that you have going on or the workload that they were counting on for you, you've put together a plan for them to be able to carry that out. Now, I know you're thinking, why would I do that? I hate this place. I never want to work for this company again. I don't care if they fail. Listen, you don't have to solve all their problems. This doesn't have to be a 42-page plan that, it's not your dissertation or something. All you're doing is putting together a page, a paragraph, a couple paragraphs saying, hey, if I were in your shoes, this is how I would do things over the next 30 days, 90 days, 60 days to make sure that my workload is taken care of. It's a really great gesture. It shows them that you're a great person. Even though things aren't working out here, you're not bitter about it. You're not willing to sacrifice the relationships. You want to make sure that everyone here is still taken care of, even though you're not going to be here. I know, mind-blowing emoji, drop it in the comments. I know, but make sure that you prepare a transition plan. All right, you ready to go to the next one? Number 4, recommend a replacement for your current role. If there's someone else within the organization that you feel could be qualified for that role, or you feel they should at least consider as a candidate, make that recommendation. I've done this several times. Hey, by the way, I think John over there in accounting would be really good at this. I know he doesn't have traditional experience, but I've talked to him. We hang out. We're cousins. We're friends. We went to high school together. We went to college together. I know that he really has a passion for this work, and I think he would be a great asset to this team. There are a lot of value in recommending your replacement. First of all, you have to think about the dynamic shift of the relationship change. We're going from being coworkers or you being my boss to being peers outside of the organization. If I can recommend talent to you and I have a good eye on talent, a good perspective, different from what my boss would have, which is normally the case, right? Normally when you're in leadership, you don't get the same perspective as individual contributors. Having that, again, just shows the spirit and the willingness of you being able to help out. Here's the thing you got to think of, right? Reciprocity is in play here. When you leave here and you go apply for your new job, or even if you're at your new job already, if you need a reference in the future, if you need someone to back you up and say, yes, that person can do that work, it's already a good idea to have someone in your back pocket that you've helped, even on your way out the door, to say, hey, you can call Ron. Ron can vouch for me, right? So think about the long-term dynamics of the relationship. It's shifting, and you want to make sure that you have it on your side. Okay, last but not least, this is a simple one, but people forget to do it. Offer to stay in touch. Maybe you grab a coffee. Maybe you have a touch base on Zoom. Maybe you have an event once every quarter that you can visit with them. Offer to stay in touch. And again, this doesn't have to be with everyone, but the people that you really want to keep relationships with, you have to make sure that you stay in touch. A lot of people will stay at a toxic job way too long because of some of the relationships that are there, and completely understand that. I've been in that position myself. But just because you leave an environment doesn't mean the relationships have to end. It does mean you need to be more intentional about how you cultivate those relationships. It means that instead of getting up, walking over to their desk because you don't work together anymore, maybe there's a quick text, or maybe there's a quick phone call, or maybe there's an email. Maybe you can find a way once a month, once every other month, once a quarter, twice a year to be able to get together with your old pals from the old gig. Again, cultivating those relationships, because you never know when you can help someone out. You also never know when you're going to need someone's help. So make sure that you keep those relationships strong. The best jobs, the absolute best jobs, always come from your network. That's a different video for a different day, but keeping those relationships strong will keep your options open for the future, so you can be on a path to loving what you do and working happy, which is what we all want. That's what I want for you as well. If you like this video, I know you're going to love the next one. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and drop a comment. Let me know what you think about these 5 tips. Do you have other tips to add? I'd love to hear them. I'll see you next time. Peace.